Hey friends, I'm Otis Gibbs, and this is Vince Herman. He's going to tell a great story about hanging out with Neil Young.
Yeah, we did the HORDE tour for a couple of years, and one year Neil was on the tour, and it was great. He opened up every day of the festival. He'd be there right as the gates opened and played this little back of the truck stage right in front of the gates. So when people came in, there was Neil Young playing a solo set for like 20 or 30 people every day. It was incredible.
Solo acoustic?
Solo acoustic, yeah, yeah, yeah. Walk in. Oh, there's, yeah. So I caught all of those. Those were great. And he was really accessible. He set up he's part owner of Lionel Trains, and he set up this big train system at every stop of the tour. And his son ran the train set. He had developed. He has extreme case of cerebral palsy, I believe it is, and Neil developed technology so that his son could control the train tracks, and that's kind of what they did together during the day, and it was a great thing. But we were in Homedale, New Jersey, playing on that tour, and we were playing a kind of a bluesish tune of Drew's, and I'm taking this solo, and about halfway through the solo, the crowd just erupts, and I'm thinking, well, that was a pretty cool lick, but what's going on? And I look to my right, and Neil Young is looking over my shoulder with a harmonica in his hand, ready to take a break, and I'm like, yes. It was great that he sat in with us, and he was just a great approachable cat. And on the last night of the tour, my college roommate and I, it was a slow traffic jam getting out of there, and we got on a golf cart. It was a big full moon. He and I both mooned Neil Young sitting on the bus. It was a good night. Old college roommates to do that, it's kind of.
Neil saw it.
Oh yeah, he was sitting in the front seat. And I think we might have been yelling something about Happy Harvest Moon. You get what you can out of this life.
Was he smiling about it?
Oh yeah, yes, I think he did enjoy it. It was the last night of the tour, so I never got to get a review.
So were you a big Neil fan before this?
Oh, absolutely. Harvest to me was like the definition of the sound that I loved. That texture, that, lyrically, the album's all over the place, really, but specifically that texture that I imagine them playing in the barn. So on the back cover of Harvest, there's that picture of the Stray Gators playing in the barn, and that's my book. I want to live in a barn, and have a hayloft concert series. Yeah, yeah, more barn. Sitting out on the lake, floating, listening to mixes. Yeah, that's the ticket.
Do you remember who was in Neil's band at that tour?
Spooner Oldham was in it.
That's pretty damn good right there.
Yeah. Well, there were a couple. There was one year when it was Crazy Horse for just a few shows.
Did you have any interactions with Spooner?
No, just saying howdy in the food line, kind of stuff, but no musical interactions or conversations. I'm sorry to say. Yeah, you've got a slew of buses parked, and at that time for us, we were traveling in a yellow school bus, so it looked real good sitting amongst the Prevosts, and we were pretty psyched that there's catering every day, and somehow through the maze of dressing rooms and all that stuff, you can get to catering, and they feed you, and there's all the drinks you want, and breakfast, lunch, and dinner going on, because it takes a big crew to be there, and it can't be taken off to go grab something to eat, so you got to feed them. And we lucked into that program too, and we were pretty psyched about it. We were out, I think it was a 6-week run, and we're driving our own school bus and stuff, trying to keep up with these bands that have drivers and stuff. So it was great not to have to be stopping to eat. But yeah, you go into this cafeteria type thing, and usually a buffet kind of line, and you hang out and pick a table to see who you want to hang out with that day, and get in strange conversations with really interesting people. It's a good thing. And then sometimes that leads to collaborations. We were on the side stage, which was just collaborations all day. Bruce Hampton was the guest artist, and he sat in with most people. Taj Mahal would be there. He'd get out in the morning and go out and find a good meat shop and bring back a bunch of stuff to cook up. Then he'd open the bay, and he had, I swear, 40 buckets of seasonings, sauces, like secret mojo stuff, man, like 40 tubs of things. And he'd get up first thing in the morning, go to that meat shop, pull out those spices, marinate that meat, whatever, get the smoker going. And that became like the social center of the tour. Hanging out with Taj, smoking meats. And, potato salad would show up out of somewhere. And, yeah, that was the real cooking going on. It was Blues Traveler and Panic and Toad the Wet Sprocket, Taj. And, it was a fun scene. I've been trying to figure out a way to do that again. I love summers with a bunch of bands coming in on an event. Something that's just not, you're not going to have that experience, every day. It's great, but man, you got to get somebody with a lot of money to sponsor the run. We've never been good at finding money. But yeah, one of these days that would be great to do. Festivals are really so great. I guess we play festivals all the time, so that's kind of that feeling. But to take a thing on the road, for a month of shows is a different kind of thing. We've been doing that with Railroad Earth and the Yonder Mountain String Band last summer, and we're doing more this summer with Leftover Salmon, and it's a good time. It's really, the crews all love hanging together, and musicians, of course, and it's great because often when you're traveling, you're kind of missing each other, and if you do see each other, you don't get to hang for more than a few minutes, it seems, before you got to go your other ways and all that. So it's fun, and music is about community and people and enjoying your music while enjoying your friends, so to get to do that on a festival run is really, really cool. And HORDE was certainly that.
That's the best part about music, I think, is everybody chooses to be in this room together at this moment, and you can they all choose to share something, and then just find out whatever it can be, and it's a community, and it goes both ways. Mm-hmm. And I love that about music when it works.
Yeah. Especially when you have time to cook it properly.